On the morning of June the 6th, 1944, the ramp of your Higgins boat drops onto Omaha Beach. What happens in the next 4 minutes will determine whether you live or die. This is the story of how you got to that beach and what happened after. Level 1. Private, Fort Benning, 1942. You are 20 years old. It is the spring of 1942 ago. The draft notice came to your house in Scranton, Pennsylvania, 3 weeks ago. You were not surprised. Half the men you grew up with have already gone. You report to Fort Benning, Georgia, for basic training. 13 weeks. The Army takes the person you were and does not return him. In his place, it builds a soldier. And the building is not gentle, because the thing you are being prepared for will not be gentle either. You learn the M1 Garand rifle, 8 pounds, semi-automatic, 8-round clip. The rifle General Patton will call the greatest battle implement ever devised. You learn to dig. The entrenching tool will save your life more often than the rifle. You learn this in week 2, and you never forget it. You learn to march 25 miles with a full pack. Then you do it again the next day. You graduate as a private. No pay grade above E1, the bottom of the United States Army. A private carries out orders. A private does not give them. A private's job is to survive long enough to become something else. You are assigned to the 1st Infantry Division, the big red one. Nobody below a certain rank is told where you are going. You ship out from New York in the fall of 1940. Level 2. Private First Class. England, 1943. You arrive in England. For over a year, you train. Rain, cold, mud, English moors, and landing craft. You load into Higgins boats and climb back out of them until promotion is automatic. You are promoted to Private First Class. The promotion comes because you are reliable, because you have not cracked under the training, because your squad leader tells the platoon sergeant you are the kind of man who does what needs to be done without being told twice. 1 stripe, E3. You now have authority over no one, but you have been identified. The Army is watching you. The whole of southern England has become one vast armed camp. The fields are full of Sherman tanks. The roads are full of trucks. The harbors are full of ships. So numerous they seem to outnumber the water. C-47 transport planes cross the sky in formation so large they take 20 minutes to pass. You have never seen force assembled at this scales. Nobody has. In the first days of June 1944, you are sealed into a marshalling area behind barbed wire. You are briefed on a map with the real names removed. You are told the beach is code-named Omaha. Level 3. The landing Omaha Beach, June 6, 1944. It is 0630. You climb down the rope netting into the Higgins boat in the dark. The sea is rough. 4-foot swells. Men are sick before the ramp drops. The naval bombardment is firing over your head. The sound is something your body will never forget. The shock waves move through the metal of the boat and through your chest. You are told the bombardment will have destroyed the German defenses. It has not. The ramp drops. The first thing that happens is not something you will ever describe to anyone who was not there. The beach is swept by machine gun fire from fortified positions on the bluffs above. The MG-42 fires 1,200 rounds per minute. It does not distinguish between men beside you and the water. You go into the water. Some men go under the weight of their packs and do not come up. You make it to the shingle, a low bank of stones at the base of the beach, and you press yourself against it because it is the only cover on the entire beach. Men are dying around you in numbers that the mind cannot process in the moment and will spend years processing afterward. An officer you have never met crawls up beside you on the shingle. He says the only true thing. The people who stay here are going to die, and the people who get off this beach might not. We are leaving. You get up. You get off the beach. By nightfall on June 6th, you are alive, and you are on the bluffs above Omaha Beach, and a great many of the men who climbed down the netting with you in the dark are not. You do not understand why you are one and they are the other. You will not understand it for the rest of your life. Level 4. Corporal. The hedgerows of Normandy, 1944. In the weeks after the landing, you fight in the hedgerows. The hedgerows of Normandy are ancient earthen banks topped with dense vegetation, each field a fortress, each one defended with machine guns and mortars and patience. You have been made a corporal. Here is why. On the 14th day in the hedgerows, your squad leader is wounded badly enough to be evacuated. Your platoon, Lieutenant, the 7 remaining men in the squad. He looks at you. He says, "You are in charge." You do not ask for confirmation. You take the lead position. You get 6 of the 7 men to the next tree line. When the platoon reassembles and the lieutenant files his report, he writes one sentence about you. Displayed initiative under fire when the situation demanded it. 2 chevrons. E4. A corporal leads a fire team of 4 men. You lead a fire team of 4 men. One of them is 18 years old and from Birmingham, Alabama. His name is Kowalski. You keep Kowalski alive through the hedgerows by teaching him in 3 days what it took you months to learn. It is the most important thing you have done since you got off the beach. Level 5. Sergeant. The liberation of France, 1944. By late summer, 1944, the breakout comes. The Allied armies pour across France. You are a sergeant. 3 chevrons. E5. You lead a squad of 12 men. Here is what a sergeant is. A sergeant is the man who translates the lieutenant's orders, decisions that keep 12 men alive while executing them. The lieutenant has the plan. You have the ground. The gap between those two things is where a sergeant lives. The war changes character. You are moving fast. Across a country being liberated town by town. In the villages, the people come out and give you bread and wine and flowers. Old men salute. Children run alongside the trucks. Then you reach a village called Chambly. The intelligence says it is clear. The intelligence is wrong. German Waffen-SS rearguard, 6 men in a farmhouse. They have a machine gun on the 2nd floor covering the main road. You take your squad around the left flank while the platoon pins them from the front. You breach through the back wall. 40 seconds of controlled violence in a stone farmhouse. The village is clear. You do not receive a commendation for Chambly. It is one of 10,000 unnamed firefights in the liberation of France that nobody will write books about. You file it in the same place. You file everything. You cannot yet process. Level 6. Staff Sergeant. The Battle of the Bulge, Winter 1944. It is December 1944. You are a Staff Sergeant. 4 chevrons plus a rocker. E6. You are the Assistant Squad Leader for Platoon, which means when the platoon sergeant needs to be in 2 places at once, you are in 2nd place. You are in the Ardennes forest, in Belgium, in a quiet sector where tired divisions are sent to rest. On December the 16th, the Germans attack through the Ardennes with everything they have left. 200,000 German soldiers, 600 tanks, the largest German offensive on the Western Front since 1940. They call it the Battle of the Bulge. The cold is a weapon. -20 Fahrenheit. The coldest winter in living memory. Men lose toes and fingers to frostbite. Weapons freeze. The wounded who are not found quickly do not survive the night. You hold a position in the snow with your squad and 11 men from other units who have been separated from their own. You are low on ammunition, low on food. You are not low on resolve because resolve is the one thing the cold cannot take. The artillery falls for 3 days. You hold. When the line stabilizes and the German offensive breaks, you have held You do not feel triumph. You feel the specific exhaustion of a man who has been asked for everything and has given it. Level 7. Technical Sergeant. Into Germany, spring 1945. It is the spring of 1945. You are a technical sergeant, the rank above staff sergeant, E7 in the U.S. Army of 1944. Your role is section leader. You now manage multiple squads, reporting to the platoon sergeant. You cross the Rhine River into Germany itself. The crossing is on pontoon bridges built overnight by Army engineers under fire. The river is 1,000 feet wide. On the far bank is Germany. On the near bank, a traffic jam of Sherman tanks, half-tracks, jeeps, and ammunition trucks, stretching back 12 miles, waiting their turn on the bridges. You walk across on foot. The bridge sways under the weight of the tanks behind you. On the far bank, you are standing in Germany. Then, in April, your unit comes to a place. It is a camp. You have heard rumors. The rumors did not prepare you. Nothing could have prepared you. What you find behind the wire is something you did not know human beings were capable of doing to other human beings. The men who can still stand come to the fence. You give them everything you have. Your rations, your water, your coat. The medics tell you not to give them too much food too fast. It can kill them. And so you learn that even mercy here has to be administered carefully. You are 20 years old. Whatever you understood about why you were fighting this war, you understand it differently now. You understand it completely now. Level 8. Master Sergeant. Victory in Europe, May 1945. It is May the 8th. Germany has surrendered. You are a Master Sergeant, the highest enlisted rank below Sergeant Major. E8. You are the senior NCO for your company. You are responsible for the welfare, the discipline, and the professional standards of every enlisted man in it. The celebration happens around you. Men fire their rifles into the air. Men weep. Men simply sit down in the German dirt and do not move. You think about the officer on Omaha Beach who crawled up beside you on the shingle and said the true thing. He did not make it off the beach himself. You learned that 3 days later. You never knew his name. You think of Kowalski. You look across the celebration. Kowalski is standing 40 feet away, 20 years old, alive. His whole life is still in front of him. That is the arithmetic that comes out right. You hold on to that one. Level 9. Home. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 1945. You come home to Scranton in the fall of 1945. You have a combat infantryman badge, a bronze star, and a purple heart from a piece of shrapnel over the Rhine. You do not talk about the war. Not because you were told not to, because there are no words that would carry it to someone who was not there, and you will not cheapen it by trying. You get a job. You marry. You raise children. Decades later, one of your grandchildren asks you for a school project what you did in the war. You are quiet for a long moment. Then you say, I was there on June the 6th. I got off the beach. I tried to help the men around me get off it too. That is all you say. It is enough. It is everything. At Fort Benning, Georgia, a column of recruits is stepping off a bus in the Georgia heat. A drill sergeant is waiting for them. They are young. They do not yet know what they are capable of. They do not yet know what will be asked of them, or what they will give, or what it will cost, or what it will mean. The drill sergeant knows. The cycle continues.